Clutch Trucker is filmed before a live studio audience. Hey, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks so much for tuning into the Clutch Trucker channel. Today we're talking about dome lights. A lot of the newer trucks come standard with the LED dome lights, for like over your steering wheel area, over your driver's seat, and up back in the main cabin area. Mine did not. Mine came with, this truck is kind of a Frankenstein in a way. Because it's a 2016 Coronado, even though it's based on the older Coronado design, some lights were LED and some were just regular old light bulbs. So it's kind of a potpourri. Like, for example, the lights above my head here, I have the red, which I can turn on. Those are LED, and they came that way. Kind of strange. The other one, just the white one, is one of these old style bulbs like this, you see? Kind of look like a fuse. And you can see where it started to get blackened because this one was about to burn out. Here's the one from the other side. It's not as dark looking. But you can see these are just the old style bulbs. And those wear out fairly quickly. They don't really last all that long. But now you can get LED options for your dome lights in your truck. You might have seen these in the stores, TA's, Petros, whatever. This is the equivalent to this one right here. Okay, it's the 211, I think is what it is. And I bought these the other day and put them in, and liked them fairly well, although they just didn't seem quite bright enough. So when I got stopped tonight here at Fort Bridger at the TA, which is a cluster mug, I'll tell you about that in a minute, I found this other one. And I got to pull one out so I can show you what that looks like. So now I put the old bulb back up in there. You see it's more of a yellowish, kind of a warmer light. The LEDs tend to be a very cool white light. But anyway, like I say, I found these the other day, and there's two of them in there. But they only have like 8 LEDs on there. So it wasn't quite bright enough. Then I found this one. Aha! 24 LEDs on the one Fuji Bodger that you put up there. You wouldn't really call this a bulb. But it's a bulb replacement. So this one by itself, see, looks like this. Aha! 24 LEDs on there. All right. So real easy to replace these things, and that's the whole point of this video. Another super easy thing to do, you can do on your own, is replace these things. And like I say, these type of bulbs, they don't last all that long. 6 months to a year. I probably will never have to buy another set of these for my dome lights in the truck ever. Now, to replace your dome light, especially the ones over here over the driver area, here's the only tool you need: a key. That's it, and I'll show you why. Okay, we're now looking up at my dome light. It's on, so it's bright, but there's a little slot you can see right over here, and I can get my key to it right there. Okay, all you gotta do is stick your key up in that, bend it back. Thing, it fell right out. That's all there is to it. Now you can access the switch back here, and then you can pull that bulb out. You can see it's up in there. I'm not going to touch it right now because it's been on, so it's hot. Now, once you've let that cool down, all you have to do is just reach up there with your hand and grab it with your fingers and pull it right out. It just pulls out of those clips. Then I'm going to take my new one right here, my 24 LED one, and you just slide it up back into place, push it in, and that's it. And now I can turn it on. Yep, I gotta turn it the other way. I found with these LEDs, sometimes they are very polarity sensitive, I guess what I mean to say. You usually just have to turn them around. All right, so there it is up there. You can see it in place, and I can turn it on, and now you see how bright that is. That's my new super bright LED replacement. And a set of those was only $15. Okay, now we just simply snap the lid back in place. It just has a little joint, a little tab sticking out there on that end. Stick that up in its place and then push it in. Yes, it's just that easy. Gotta love it. So now, looking at me again with this LED light overhead, you can see it's a much whiter light, a much whiter kind of bright. It's bright. It's just as bright as the other one. Like I say, the other one, these old style bulbs tend to put out more of a yellowish, a warmer light. This is more of a cool white light, but it still is just as bright, and I think they're really nice. And like I say, I'll probably never have to replace them as long as I own this truck now. Those LEDs last a long time. Now, I also found a set of bulbs for my big overhead dome light, which is up there in the ceiling here in the back of my sleeper unit of my truck. And again, the same kind of deal. To get this cover off, I just stick my key up in there and push it back until I can get a piece of it, and then squeeze and pull it down. It's just that easy. For my upper dome light up there in the ceiling, this is the style bulb, if I can show it to you, that was up there in that one. Okay, just your standard glass with just your two little pieces of metal there to get the electricity over the bottom end. And they're just push in. That's all you do, is you push in and pull them out. Okay, but they're your standard glass bulb. So I found an LED replacement for those. Here's the package that came in. And this one is, you can see, number 921-912. All you just pretty much got to do is just go pull your bulbs out, go into the store, and match them up. Here's the LED version of that bulb. Okay. Don't need the CB on right now. All right, you can see it's just got little LEDs all around it and on the end. And again, it's the same style. It's just now got a plastic end instead of glass. So it just shoves in there, and you've got your little wires on the end for your connection. Okay, like I say, these are super easy to replace. You just shove them in there. So these tall, so I'm reaching here. Make sure you just turn it the right way, if I can get my camera aimed at it right, and stick them in. Well, having trouble reaching it. All right, here we go. There it goes. All right, just shove it in there. That's all there is to it. And there's my LED replacements for my overhead dome light. Now, I think these LED dome lights, of course, I've got the old ones in the package. I'm just going to keep them that way, so these are backups. But, you know, they're just a few dollars more than just the standard bulb. I think these were $12 for the set of two. And like I say, I probably will never have to replace those again in this truck, and they draw a lot less voltage. So that's the other nice part, is if you're parked and you're not running your engine, you're not draining as much voltage off your battery just to have some lights on inside. Now, these that I bought initially, these two here, which weren't quite as bright as I wanted for the overhead lights over the driver and passenger seat, they were like $12. I'm still going to keep these just for backups. I always like having backups. That way, if ever one goes out, I'm always covered. I've always got something on hand. You can see how easy it is to replace these little dome lights. Like I say, never pay a shop to do that for you. My God, that's so easy. And like you say, you saw the only tool I used, my key. You could use like a flathead screwdriver to pop those little lenses off too if you want. But I mean, come on, how easy is that? Gotta love it. Quick and dirty way to replace your dome lights, and now replace them with these LEDs. That's the nice thing, is now that they've advanced enough with these LED lights that you can reuse them to replace almost anything on your truck. I do have a video all about LED headlights, which I use on this truck, on this Coronado, replacing my old was it 9006 XS ones. A long time ago, shortly after I bought this truck, my front turn signal ones, which those are the amber bulbs that have two filaments in them, because one's for just the marker light and the other one is brighter, flashing for the turn signal light. Well, those wear out quickly as well. I think within the first 6 months I had to replace them. I found a great LED version for those. I think those are the I want to say 3157s or something like that. But again, $25 for the set, and I've had those in on the front of the truck now for 2.5 years and haven't replaced them since. So the LEDs are great options, and they've become so much less expensive now that you can throw them on and they last so much longer. Over time, you're paying just as much or less than you would on the standard kind of filament type bulbs. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, and I did want to say, I mentioned earlier, I'm parked here in Fort Bridger, Wyoming. This place is a cluster mug tonight. trucks all over the place. I reserved a spot here, and when I got here, they were all taken up. But I can't really blame drivers for that tonight because, it's just painted on the pavement. And, well, guess what? The whole lot's covered in snow. So I did find a make-your-own spot kind of on the west side of the shop where I could kind of get out of the way. So at least I got a spot, so I'm not going to really argue that point too bad. But this place is, it's midnight Mountain Time, and it's just going to get worse tonight. At least I found a place where I think nobody will block me in. But you never know with the ass wagons out there. Gotta love it. So I hope you enjoyed this journey down LED Way. Like I say, if you can replace, no need to do it until you really need to replace them. But, like these incandescent type bulbs, the one that was up over here over my driver's seat, you saw how blackened that first one was I showed you. It just wasn't being bright enough anymore, and I'm on paper log, so I'm always sitting here doing my logs. I want a bright light right above my paperwork area. So it was time to replace them, and I found the LED options. You can find an LED option for almost any kind of light that's going to go inside your truck and also on the outside of your truck. There's one pair I tried to replace on the back of my fairings with LEDs, but they didn't work. Sometimes an LED option will not work, especially if it's going to be more like a marker light or something. Usually the dome light kind of ones that you're replacing, say here's the original type, here's the LED type. Sometimes all you got to do is just turn this one around because the polarity sometimes makes a difference. All right, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. As always, please subscribe, please like, give me some comments. What else am I always having to ask you about? Subscribe, like, comments. There's something else and I can't remember what it is. Sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. As always, clutch out.